Enrollment is down here at SUNY Oswego, affecting many people, including local landlords.
The price of rent is dropping, but the concern is rising as this trend is putting pressure on property owners. We sat down with Oswego landlord Lee Walker to find out more about the tenant turnover.
Joining us now is Oswego landlord Lee Walker. Lee, thank you for joining us. Let's get right into it.
Sure.
Enrollment at SUNY Oswego has gone down in the last few years. How does that directly affect your businesses?
Oh, a lot. It's a huge piece. When years ago when enrollment was up, when I first started doing this, I'd fill every house I had. And so this year I was told, I don't know the exact figure, but I hear enrollment's down at least 26%. So it's less kids, and I call students kids because they're all a lot younger than I am. So the student population is shrunk. A lot of kids are doing online classes. The kids aren't coming to town as much and filling up, and there's less kids out there to rent the houses to. So you have to get creative.
What changes have you noticed in the student housing market over the last few years?
Many years ago when I first started, the more bedrooms you had, if you had a two-family house with 4 bedrooms in it each, you'd have 8 kids. You could have up to 8 kids living in it, and that was a big deal. Kids were looking for larger houses, and the more the merrier type deal. And now you're finding that since COVID and enrollment's down, larger houses aren't renting like they used to. Students want 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, maybe 4 bedrooms would be the most. So you got to get creative. And I used to have 4-bedroom houses, and now if you only get 2 or 3 students that would come to you, you do what you got to do to fill your house.
And speaking of those houses, about how many, if you had a number, how many houses do you own? And have you seen a shift in the amount of tenants you've been getting in the recent years?
Sure, in the recent, I don't know the exact amount, and I should know the exact amount, but I rent to approximately between 200 and 300 students. So it's the shift is just, it's less kids for you. You're having vacancies. Last year, my New Year's is not January 1st. My New Year is, I call it Happy New Year, is June 1st for me. That's when the old students leave and the new students come in. Last year, I sat on at least 5 empty houses, which that was unheard of 10 years ago. Prior to COVID, you could rent, that's how I started. I started with 1 house and ended up with many, many more. And every year I would fill, if I had 10 houses, I'd fill 10 houses. And I would tell my wife, if I had 2 more houses, I could rent them. Now that's not the case. So I sat on 5 houses last year for the whole year.
Are you changing your approach on how you market your houses to students?
Sure, we've gotten, we're doing websites. We have a website for our houses. We're advertising. I can't tell you the name because I can't think of it off the top of my head. It's a site that we pay a company that helps us rent our houses, and then they call and through an app, and then they call us. And so you got to get creative, get the word out there. You talk to the students that you have and say, hey, can you help me out and help me rent my houses? Do you know some kids that would want to stay? And it seems to be harder and harder.
All right, Lee, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Walker says that he may look to downsize in the near future and potentially sell some of his properties to avoid holding vacant homes.
He owns properties here in Oswego that has not been leased for the first time in 20 years, signaling a shift in what was once a steady business.